Hi guys, welcome to Sun Piece. This is my first official video where I will be talking about the series One Piece. Let me grab my charger. This is going to be a video on the character called Usopp. Usopp is one of the main characters in the series, in the crew called the Straw Hat Crew. And where I'm going to start with this is kind of just talk about sort of something interesting about his character. And it's been a while since I've worn my One Piece shirt. Ta-da! But there it is. I've got it on. I have a different One Piece shirt that I wear a lot more often. I just forgot about this one for some reason until today, where I was like, oh, I should totally put this on for the Sun Piece video. So yeah, Usopp. Sort of where we're gonna start with this is the spiritual kind of meaning behind Usopp as a character and like just who he is. First thing I'm gonna say to kind of give you guys an idea of where this is going is he's a manifester. He is actually a very powerful manifester. So the series starts off, I'm actually gonna put this up on my tripod. But the series starts off with meeting him, basically. That's not where the actual series starts, but basically you're introduced to him where he is on his hometown island, and the main characters go there and they meet him, and they're like, oh, this person's kind of interesting, he's kind of funny. And basically they discover he knows this girl named Kaya, who is this girl who's very, very sick. She has some sort of illness or something. She's really sick. And always has to take medicine and can never leave her mansion every day and stuff like that. There we go. So she's unable to leave her mansion all the time. And so what you discover about Usopp is that he would go to her mansion, like throw like some pebbles at her window, and she would like open it, and like they would meet through there because she could never leave her mansion, and he would tell her stories about like anything, and they were all lies. They were all stories that were not true, but they were just stories that were funny. At least they thought they were the stories were hilarious. And yeah, he would tell her these stories and things like that, and they were all basically lies. Now, the thing that's interesting about Usopp in the series, something to know about it, is that there are a lot of volumes. There are over 90 volumes of One Piece, and you're introduced to Usopp around like volume, I want to say 3, like really early. And essentially what you learn over time is that later on in the series, every single one of his lies basically come true. And that's a big spoiler technically. If you guys know, if you guys watched my introduction series, I probably should have said this in this video, but this is for those of you who are already caught up with the series, or if you don't care what details I share with you about the series. So if you're like, what? You spoiled that, I didn't need to know that, like, oh no, like, the series is ruined. That's kind of, you know, that's on you guys, but anyways, chances are you're all open to listening to whatever these messages are. And so the thing that's interesting about this is what makes his lies so outlandish is that they're all lies that like require him to be this really strong, confident like person, and he's like, they're just super funny because that's not me. And so the thing that's very synchronistic about his lies coming true is that throughout the series, this is literally manifestation. He starts to get more confidence in himself and believe in himself, and the more he believes in himself, the more he manifests, basically. And just like manifestation, sometimes certain lies that he's told, they come true quick, or sometimes they happen way farther down the series. I would say the first lie of his that I remember coming true probably happened around like volume 13, 14, or 15. So that's like 10 whole volumes later, and it just takes time for each one of his things to come true, and eventually he's developed a lot of confidence. He's still a liar, like in the present moment in the series. The thing that's beautiful about the series is that the characters don't need to change who they are to still be lovable, to be worthy of love. In fact, they see themselves as heroes, as their strong suits. Like all of their quirks and traits about them become what makes them beautiful and what makes them helpful for the whole series to progress forward. So the more they love themselves and accept themselves, the more they seem to pull off. And they all know that they all have their own strengths and weaknesses and cans and cannots or whatever. There are things that certain crewmates can do and things that they cannot do. So Usopp really struggled a lot with his self-esteem throughout the series, but it really, he really got a lot of that transformation where he really valued himself a lot more around like volume 35, volume 40. No, yeah, around there, like around volume 42-ish as well. It's around that part where he really starts to value himself even more, and that shows immediately in the very next arc, the very next basically season in the series. And so it's just really interesting how Usopp kind of is with all that. Yeah. So that's Usopp as a character, just a little brief thing that I find interesting about him, which is that he's a very powerful manifester, and he's very flawed, I guess. Like, he's known to be a liar. He does that all the time. But he has a good heart, truly. He really does strive to live his best life, a very honorable life where he respects pretty much everyone. He's a very respectful kind of person, even though he's a liar. So it's, yeah, and you guys will recognize, like, he has a long nose. It's kind of like a pun off of Pinocchio, you know? So there's some interesting things like that. The main, the creator of One Piece, Oda, he's a big fan of puns. So there's tons of puns in the series. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about regarding Usopp as of right now. I was talking to my friend Crystal, and I feel like I just had way more stuff to say. But yeah, we just found it very interesting that, like, how law of attraction, manifestation works. That kind of like Usopp as a character really kind of demonstrates that pretty well, which I think is really, really inspiring, because you get to watch this character who at the start of the series seems physically weak, just scared of everything, lies, doesn't know how to fight like the like, I guess the two main characters at that moment do. Even the other main character who's like the navigator, seems to have some skills in combat. So at the beginning, he is very much portrayed to be weak and not capable and stuff. So that reflects his confidence. And as the series progresses and he gains confidence, so do his skills. He gets really, really good at what he does. He does have certain skills that, when first applied in the beginning, just look like a joke. He calls himself a sniper, but he has a slingshot. But he is actually very good with the slingshot. But later on, naturally, he gets upgrades and he does more and he creates more than just. He used, they're called pachinko or whatever. They're like the Japanese marbles. He would use those to throw with the slingshot. Later on, he gets different bullets. Basically, it's very interesting. He actually doesn't use like bullets like from like guns or whatever. He just uses like a variety of different tools, which are really funny. He makes this like hot sauce ball. Later he makes an explosive one that like bursts into flames. So like they do stuff. It's really interesting, just kind of how practical he can be, and how he uses coward energy during combat to make the most of the situation. Like his survival instincts kick in, and he's actually a strategist. He plans things, but it takes time. It's like he has to wing it. He has to really work with whatever spirit has, whatever the universe provides in the moment, which I think is also kind of something we all relate to, where you really have to work with what you've got, and he really does that a lot as well. So yeah, that's my video on Usopp, and hopefully you guys, whoever might ever listen to these videos, enjoy these. The next character I'm gonna do is, I don't know yet. I'll think about it. I might do one that's more like heart-wrenching, so I'm thinking of Chopper. And I might pull up some visuals to show you guys just how touching his story is. This is gonna, yeah, I'll be doing different aspects. So I'm showcasing Usopp to talk about manifestation and how spiritual the One Piece universe can be. It's all spiritual, but next video I'll be uploading is going to be about Chopper, and it'll be about the backstory, how emotional the series can be, and just how innocent and sweet like the idea of unconditional love is, and like what that really means when it comes to like loving your family, loving your soul family. I don't know, it's just really, really beautiful. So stay tuned. That's going to be the next character I talk about, and there's going to be some pictures, so technically more spoilers alert. Thank you all for listening. Whoever might ever find their way on this channel, Sun Piece might just be a self thing, but you know, I'm gonna keep doing this and think of more stuff with this channel. So yeah, lots of love and light, guys. Talk to you all later. Peace out.